Welcome to this high-stakes explainer. We are diving into an absolutely explosive Game 3 clash between the Carolina Hurricanes and the Philadelphia Flyers. Man, the ice was practically melting under their skates tonight, folks.
Okay, let's dive right into this. 7. That is the number of consecutive playoff games the Carolina Hurricanes have just won. It is an awe-inspiring streak. Just think about the sheer momentum a team needs to bulldoze through the postseason like that. It is simply breathtaking hockey.
But how exactly did they pull it off tonight? Well, if you want to distill the entire story of this game down into its absolute purest form, it comes down to one core concept: lethal special teams. The Hurricanes didn't just edge out the Flyers at even strength. They absolutely dismantled them the second a Philadelphia player had to sit in the penalty box. And that brings us to the absolute most punishing number of all: 3-0. That is the colossal series lead the Hurricanes now hold over the Flyers. Philadelphia is staring straight into the abyss right now, entirely backed into a corner.
Section 1. The game flow. Pucks in the net. Let's move to it and see exactly how this builds.
To understand how we got to that commanding 3-0 series lead, we have to look at the breathless pace of this game's scoring. It all kicked off with Jordan Staal drawing first blood late in the first period. But then, early in the second, Trevor Zegras finds the back of the net and ties the game up. You can imagine the tension in that arena. It was absolutely through the roof. But wait, here's the turning point. With the Flyers on the power play, disaster strikes for Philly. Jalen Chatfield steals the puck, charges all the way down the ice, and scores a completely crushing shorthanded goal. Boom! The momentum instantly flips. Svechnikov and Ehlers then just pile it on in the third period to seal a 4-1 victory in a total blur of offensive execution.
Section 2. The physical toll. Sheer desperation.
Now, to really get the vibe of this game, we have to talk about the physical violence out there. The numbers brilliantly illustrate the sheer force of that desperation. Philadelphia tried to absolutely batter Carolina. We are talking 41 total hits delivered by the Flyers compared to the Hurricanes' 31. The Flyers fully knew they were down in the series, and they came out trying to leave bruises, trying to physically intimidate Carolina into submission.
But you know, that extreme physical edge, it definitely has the dark side. As the game started slipping away, the Flyers' physical frustration completely boiled over into costly indiscipline. In the third period, Travis Konechny just entirely loses his cool, a slashing call against Andrei Miller, plus a misconduct penalty. When you are fighting for your playoff life, you simply cannot let your emotions sabotage your team like that.
Section 3. Special teams tell the story. Okay, so we've seen the passion, we've felt the hits, now let's look at exactly how Carolina weaponized Philadelphia's aggression. So the crucial point here is, man, just look at these staggering numbers. 38 penalty minutes amassed by the Flyers. 38! You are practically gift-wrapping the game for a team as dangerous as the Hurricanes when you spend half the night sitting in the penalty box. Meanwhile, Carolina kept their composure, taking only 20 penalty minutes themselves. And here is the brutal, surgical precision that resulted from all those penalties. Carolina nets 2 power play goals and that absolute back-breaking shorthanded goal. They were literal assassins on special teams tonight. Meanwhile, the Flyers, 0 power play goals. An utter collapse in those exact same high-pressure man-advantage situations. Carolina executed, Philadelphia disintegrated.
Section 4. Key players and standouts.
Let's take a quick second to celebrate the incredible athletes who dominated the box score and brought the fans right to their feet. What an absolute masterclass from Andrei Svechnikov. A goal and an assist, rightfully claiming the first star of the game. And you definitely have to tip your hat to Jordan Martinook, who was just a playmaking machine out there with 2 assists. And of course, a very respectful nod to Philadelphia's Porter Martone, who fought valiantly to set up the Flyers' only goal of the night.
Now, what is really interesting to take away here is the relentless depth of Carolina's secondary scoring. It wasn't just their top line doing the heavy lifting. You've got the veteran leadership of Jordan Staal cashing in on the power play. You've got Jalen Chatfield creating absolute magic while killing a penalty. And you've got Nikolaj Ehlers slamming the door completely shut in the third period. That top-to-bottom depth, that is exactly what makes a championship team.
Section 5. Game 4 approaches. The clock is ticking.
The tension right now is incredibly thick. May 9th, Xfinity Mobile Arena. In front of a desperate, deafening home crowd, the Philadelphia Flyers are going to be fighting for their absolute playoff lives. One more loss, and their entire season is over. The stakes, folks,
They simply do not get any higher than this.
So, I leave you with this. Can the Flyers tap into that roaring home crowd, clean up their discipline, and somehow avoid the sweep on home ice? Or will the Hurricanes' relentless momentum, their lethal special teams, and their impenetrable defense go ahead and punch their tickets straight to the Eastern Conference Finals? The ice is set. Thanks for diving into this explainer with me, and get ready for what is sure to be a legendary Game 4.